For the last modeling tutorial, I will go over some of the props and bring them to their final state before we can move on to the UVing phase of our project. The prop that I'm going to pick is the barrel that we created earlier in the blockout, and I will show you how I will bring this to the finished state. First, what I'm going to do is take and remove the edge loops I created earlier, and I'm going to place them with a little bit more care and precision this time. So I'm going to delete the edge loops and add a few more by hand this time. I'm going to have one at the top, one at the bottom, and one close to the middle, so that these pieces can be extruded later and can be textured as metal. Also don't need the top and the bottom right now. And first, of course, I need to get the right barrel shape again. So I'm using my soft selection, which I'm entering by pressing B and then holding B together with the middlemost button and drag it out to see how strong the effect of the soft selection is. It's going to scale this up until I like the shape of my barrel. Of course, the whole thing increased in size a little bit, so I'm going to scale this down and check this against my scale reference, and also in comparison with the other objects. I think this can be slightly bigger. Alright, next I'm just going to fix these a little bit. I want this to be a bit thicker, as well as the bottom. And then I'm going to extrude these pieces. Like this. Then I'm taking the edges here, bring them out a little bit, so that there's a nice transition here, and do the same with the bottom and the top. Okay, for the top I'm going to bring these in a little bit more, and again extrude the whole thing to go inwards and give it a bit of an offset here. Just like this. And I'm going to close the top and the bottom, of course, by using another extrude, scaling it down to the middle, and merge it to center. And I'm going to do that for the downside as well. I'm doing this to both sides because then we can have our model either standing like this or lying on the floor like this. And you are free to place them into the scene in any way you like. You can either have them lay down on the floor like this, maybe even stack them on top of each other. Or place them in groups. It's entirely up to you. To add a little more variation to the floor, I am going to switch out some of these floor panels and create some holes for them. So what I'm going to do is to take one of these and extrude the face in the middle. This is going to look a bit ugly, but then when I delete the faces I don't need, I created a hole. Just making this a bit smaller. Extrude this downwards. And close the hole. I'm going to add the clusters to find the middle. And I'm going to add a few wooden bars so that you don't fall in. And later, for when we're doing the lighting, we're going to have some lights coming out of the floor, maybe some red or some blue to make this scene look a bit more interesting. And to give an idea that something might be below this dungeon environment. Using simple cubes for these. Delete the faces I don't need. And then I'm going to repeat them here. Duplicate these and rotate them like this. And to add some more detail, I'm going to bevel this edge. And with the modular grid, we can just place these holes wherever we want and just replace them with one of the floor tiles we already have. Lower this one a little bit. And maybe copy this one over. Here. Next, I'm going to create with a torus a chain that can hang down from the ceiling or from some of the wooden beams. And I'm going to rotate this by 90 degrees. Put the subdivisions to 6 and the height to 4. And then just drag the lower part downwards so we have a nice shape for a chain. Very quick and easy. Let's estimate the size, put it here. Of course this is too big, so we have to scale it down. And then we're just going to copy and rotate to create the right shape. Like this. Let's put it one here. And let's put one here. And now for the last step, again, I'm going to just bevel some of the last edges. And then we are almost already finished with the modeling of our environment. Now that I beveled the remaining pieces, we can go and start UVing our assets. If you like, you're of course free to add whatever objects you like, change some out or create some more boxes or make some torches for the walls. It's entirely up to you. But now I'm going to move on to the UVing part of our tutorials. This already concludes the first module of our stylized dungeon environment project. In this module we have learned how to prepare a Maya scene, how to take this prepared Maya scene and start modeling a blockout environment, We added details to our blockout models and took them to their final modeling stage. We also learned how to set up tileable textures in Maya that we can take later into ZBrush to create tiling textures using normal maps and color maps. And we're going to use the final models that we've created in this module to start the UVing and sculpting process in the next one. Thank you for choosing 3D Motive, and I see you in the next module.